Welcome back, everyone, to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, LitecoinLeader. There's a lot of news out there that I wanted to share, not just today, but over the next several days. So I got a lot of videos to knock out today. But the first one I wanted to talk about is going to be about miners and capitulation, something we talk about a lot on Economic Preppers show. If you're not checking out Economic Preppers, we launch a new episode every Friday. It's myself, Patrick, Divvy Daddy, and Dylan Bradley. All three of us join forces there, talk about all the things in the economy, preparing so you're not scared, silver, gold, Bitcoin, the news we can't talk about, usually on YouTube, that kind of stuff. So it's usually about an hour. Check us out on Fridays. Be sure to like and subscribe. Details are in the description and also in the pinned comment. Also, it helps if you like seeing the content that we share out here. And it can help this channel a lot by liking, sharing, and subscribing. So I really appreciate that, getting the voice out. It's really hard to do in some of these media outlets, but this community really helps out. So I appreciate that in advance. So again, like and subscribe. But today's story, let me share my screen a little bit and talk about it a little. Here we go. Let me do it that way. So this is from CoinDesk. And if I can remember, I will put this in the description. But let me walk through this article a little bit. Crypto and Bitcoin miners are rebranding and diversifying to survive. I look at their new strategies. And it goes on to say some of these new business lines are more profitable than Bitcoin mining, but not all. So I'll read some of the highlights. You can read it more. Again, this is from CoinDesk. Bitcoin miners are trying to survive an icy crypto winter by broadening the scope of their business, both in name and in practice. On January 4th, one of the biggest publicly traded Bitcoin mining firms announced that it was swapping the blockchain out of its name for platforms. The rebranding to Riot Platforms, obviously from Riot Blockchain, was to underpin an increasingly diversified business. So it is not only the firm making a name change. So it's not the only firm making a name change. In the past year, miners have worked to diversify their revenue streams into other products and services using energy-intensive data centers. Some did so in response to brutal market conditions, while others took steps to prepare for a downturn when business was still going strong. The strategy is the opposite of what we've seen in past bull markets, where publicly traded firms would add the word crypto or blockchain to their names and see their shares surge more than 100% in a day. That didn't always happen, but it did happen to some, even if the company had no viable crypto-related business plan. And it goes on to say, recovering and getting the revenue from Bitcoin mining is finite. There are only about 2 million more Bitcoins. I don't even think it's that much that can be mined until the Bitcoin network reaches a cap of 21 million. Assuming the current Bitcoin price is 25,000 per token, the total value of Bitcoin to be mined works out to be about $50 billion. That amount is super finite, said Lucas Pipes, an analyst at there's only $50 billion at current prices. So that's what they're all competing for. All the different miners around the globe are competing to get that. And it's going to take till 2140 to get all of it. Now, most of it will be captured in the next 8 years, but I mean, the next couple of halvings, it will just really knock it way low. With many miners adding constant computing power to mine the limited amount of Bitcoin, basing a whole business modeled on mining alone may not be viable. So companies are looking to repurpose some of their computing power for other industries and services. This includes selling high-performance computing to firms in industries like artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. I didn't think I highlighted anything further, but you can go on. Again, I'll link the story, and we'll talk about it. There's an energy play too. But let me drop out of here, and we'll just talk about it for a minute. So what's going on here? So first off, if you like me bringing these kinds of stories to your attention, please let me know. You can drop an email at jeff@litecoinleader.com or go to litecoinleader.com, the contact form, and send me an article. Most people have my email address to get a hold of me anyway. Also, you can join my Telegram for free on Follow the Leader. That's Follow the Leader. And that link is also in the description of the videos as well. But this video is all about the miners and capitulation, which is something Patrick's been harping on for episode after episode and probably month after month in our AMAs too. We do have our final AMA of the month for members in February. That's Wednesday evening at 8. This video should air before then. So miners are capitulating. What does that mean? That means that they need to shut things off because it's no longer profitable. Now, $25,000 of Bitcoin, it is, but it's getting tougher and tougher with more and more people entering the market. Not only is it more expensive to run these things or with the cost of electricity going up and the cost of capital. Like the miners aren't. I don't think the new miners are out yet for their sale. They're doing the higher terahashes per second. But the bottom line is that if the prices of Bitcoin go down again, it's going to be very hard for these Bitcoin mining companies to turn a profit. And as more and more people get into the Bitcoin mining space, it dilutes the pool, meaning that, as said before, there's only 2 billion left, or 2 million Bitcoins left to go get. And they only come out, I think we're down to 6.25 every 10 minutes. I think it's 900 a day. So 900 Bitcoin come out a day. And all the miners across the globe are all chasing those 900 Bitcoins. And, you have to win a block just to get 6.25. And then next year, I think probably the summer of next year, this is about when the next halving happens, it'll be knocked in half again. And now you're going to be 450 Bitcoins a day. So now you have all these people that are competing for it. The cost of electricity is going up. Hopefully the cost of miners go down, but you've got all that plus storage and security and cooling, all these different costs that add up. And it's a zero sum game. It's a zero sum game, meaning that there's only 450 a day starting next year. There's only 225 a day 4 years after that. In the next 4 to 6 years, a lot of the miners are not going to see profitability unless Bitcoin just goes to an astronomical price, which it could. It could easily go up to like $300,000-$400,000 by this 2 halvings from now. That could easily happen, maybe even higher. But still, the cost of electricity will be going up. The cost of miners going up, and more people in countries and remote places where it makes no sense to do anything but convert the energy that's stranded there to Bitcoin, they'll all be jumping into the space. So it's going to be harder and harder to turn a profit. But in the short term, what's happening this year is that miners are struggling because it's still crypto winter. Even though Bitcoin hit 25,000, and we'll talk about that in another video and why it kind of hit its head. So it hit its head. Now it's going to kind of come down a little bit, and maybe it gets up to 30,000 this summer. But it's going to take a while. It could go back down. If it goes back down into the teens, a lot of Bitcoin mining establishments and companies are going to struggle to keep the lights on, and they may have to shut things down. And that's when capitulation starts. That's when the hash rates start to turn, and Bitcoin gets, it'll hit that bottom. It'll hit that bottom, and then it'll start to shoot up from that point. But that's the capitulation that Bitcoin is looking to have. That's what Patrick keeps talking about. That's why he got out of the mining business a couple of years back. And he doesn't really recommend doing Bitcoin mining going forward because, again, it's a zero-sum game. There's only 2 million left. There's lots of people competing for it. The prices are going up to make it happen, and the competition is strong. So what are your thoughts? I loved hearing your thoughts. Do you like this video? If you have other videos, other topics you want me to comment on, drop me an email, get a hold of me. It's probably the best way. You could certainly reach me on Patreon. I think it's a $5 level just as a thank you. That just supports the channel. And also it gets you some information there. And you have a direct line to me by dropping me an email. But if you can't, go to LitecoinLeader.com, drop me an email there, tell me the article you want to talk about, and I'll see if I can do a video about it. But lots said today. I have plenty more videos to shoot. I'm going to close the drawer on the video on this one. Say follow leader one more time, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.